Hi everyone, it's Steffi from iffyandcards.blogspot.co.uk and I'm back today just to share with you a project I've made, and this is it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The cardstock is early espresso and I've used the gold glimmer paper, a scrap of very vanilla and the gold embossing powder, and inside this holds, it's like the infusers with the sticks. So that is going to fit inside here, and completely finished it measures 7 3/4 tall by 1 3/8 wide, and I just think it looks lovely. So what we'll do is we'll pop that to one side and I'll show you. We'll make it in a different colourway today. Right, for this one we're going to do it in basic black, and this piece of card needs to measure 9 1/8 by 6 inches. 1 second, I've just popped my notes somewhere and I've lost them. Right, never mind, I think I remember them. On the short side you want to score it at 1 3/8, 2 3/4, 4 1/8 and 5 1/2. Then you want to rotate it and you want to score it at 2 3/4 and 7 3/4. Then I've brought my trimmer in just to show you, because these little marks here, the part score lines, these are in 1/16 of an inch. So this first one here needs to measure 11/16 of an inch, and I'm just going to show you where that is. So each of it's the tiny ones, oh you can't even see, it's the tiny ones here in between the 8s. So if you take it to 1/2 an inch, that's 8/16. So basically what you want to do is you want to line it up at this marker here just before the 3/4 of an inch. Okay, just pop it in and then, oh, can you in shot? Then you want to use your score blade, and you've got centimetres down here. What I've done is I've took mine down to 5 centimetres. And then again you just want to line it up at 3 7/16. So you've got 2, 4, 6. So basically the 1/16 of an inch is that tiny little mark there before the 1/2 an inch. Again, lined up there. Use your score blade and score down to 5 centimetres. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you that with it being the 1/16. So now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to emboss it before I fold and burnish it. So we'll get our embossing buddy out. And you just want to rub that over the areas, and it's just this middle section where we actually going to be heat embossing. So just make sure that you give that a nice good coating. And the stamp set we're using today is this one, and it's Vertical Greetings. I've had this a while and it's very rare that I've used it, although it is so beautiful. What I'm using today is I'm using this tree, and then I'm using the For You as well. I've already got them mounted up. So let's bring that in, and our Versamark. It's the first time I've done heat embossing on a tutorial, so I'm hoping it doesn't go disastrously wrong. So then what you want to do in each of these panels, you just want to line it up as centrally as you can, and then just press that down. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Yeah, you can see there where it's thingied, where it's made the impression. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the other 3, and then I'll just put the embossing powder all on at the same time. So again, just try and line it up as straight as possible. Give it a good press down. That one's done. Stink it up again. Doesn't matter if they're not completely central. You know, I think it'll still look really nice. I love the heat embossing, although it's not very often I do it. because I normally always make a mistake. Right, so we're on the last panel now. I'm just going to pop that down. I think this one's gone a bit off centre. Oh, actually it's fine. You can see if I tilt it that that's all been done. Just pop the lid back on my Versamark, and then I'm just going to come in with a little tray. This is just something I've had for a while, and my silver embossing powder. You just want to sprinkle that all over. It's like magic. Heat embossing's beautiful. Just gives such a nice classy finish. Just make sure it's all covered, and just like to give it a bit of a whack on the back. Put my lid on, otherwise I'll have that all over. And then another thing that I've got as well, this is just a makeup brush, and you just want to get away any of the stray bits of embossing powder that's on there. I think for the majority it's quite okay actually. So now I'm going to get my heat tool, and you might want to turn the volume down if you've got it on loud. You just want to let it heat up for a good couple of seconds until it's getting quite hot. Let's see if mine will stretch over. And then just so magic once you see it starting to go. There you can see it starting to turn. Just watch your fingers because it does get quite hot. It's all. Yep, right, that's all the heat embossing done, and you know, it just looks so beautiful. So what we're going to do, while we'll let that dry a little bit, I'm going to come back to these little part score marks that we done earlier on. I'm just going to bring in my foam mat, because what we want to do, I've got my bone folder from my envelope punch board. And what we want to do is we want to, the bottom of this line here, I don't know if you can see, the bottom of this line here, we want to just score to that corner, and again there, just to make a triangle. It just causes the box to have, where have I put my prototype? Oh, there it's just a nice, causes that nice effect there. So just pop that on there, then line it up with the corner. Might have to go over it a couple of times. Oh, I think I might have just ripped that one, but we'll just pretend you didn't see that. I've obviously pressed on it too hard, so it's showing you what not to do. Oh, headbutt to the camera. So again, line up to the corner and then just go over that a couple of times, and again on this last side. So then what you will have is that triangle effect there. So what we're going to do now, we'll go ahead and fold and burnish our score lines. And obviously just make sure you try not to go over your embossed image, because it still could, you know, take some of it there off. Oh, the good paper sliding all over, and then like that. Yep. Fold over here, and then these score lines here, I just like to get it and just pinch it, just it will help create that nice fold when it all comes together. And again on that side here as well. have broke that one a little bit there, but you know, hopefully you will do it a lot better than me and you won't have it all over. Oh, I'm jumping ahead. Right, now we're going to get our snips, and this skinny rectangle here, we just want to cut that away, and we're just going to slightly miter it, and we're going to cut up these score lines at the bottom, just up to that first score line. I'm just going to take a very thin sliver out of each side of them. Just for when we fold it up, try and get it as neat as we can. Just line them up to one side. So that is what we are left with. So on this piece here, actually I'm just going to miter it slightly at the top of this part here, and I'm just going to run some double-sided tape along here. This is to close our box once I find the end of it. Oh, my pussycat's looking at me. Looks as if he's thinking about whether he's going to be naughty or not, I think. Hopefully he'll not be naughty. And he'll just continue to watch me from afar. Because if he does jump on this table, then the whole table will shake worse than normal. So I'm just going to take off the backing of the double-sided tape. Put that to one side. Then, even though it should fit, I like to just line it up at the top first, and just line it up like that. Make sure everything's nice and flush, and then just keep on all the way down. Then you can just press it down with your bone folder. So that is the back of our box, and this is now our front. So what I want to do is we want to fold the sides. Oh, I must have measured this a little bit wrong. Maybe take off, maybe it's 1/8 of an inch there. So maybe just make yours at 9. So which one was that's the back of the box. So fold in your two sides. Oh, way. Fold in your two sides, then your back, and then, oh, wait, I think I've got that the wrong way. No, I haven't. And then we're just going to put some double-sided sticky on here. Just put a couple of pieces on, because obviously it's not massively heavy that's going inside, but I want to make sure it doesn't fall out the bottom. And just take them off like that, and just want to make sure it's nice and square, and just fold that down. So then, yeah, you can see once we pinch in there, them score lines do form just nicely. So what we'll do now is, I've got some of our silver glimmer paper, and this is the classic label punch. Just going to punch one of those out. Put that to one side. Oh, and I have a scrap of Whisper White here, and I'm just going to stamp the For You out in our black archival ink. And hopefully, oh, I'm not shot, I'll do it up here. And there we go. Just put that to one side now. And come back in with our punch. And we're just going to centre that to make sure it's nice and straight. and then pop that out as well. That's for our decoration. Right, what I've just realised is that I'm forgetting to bring me hole punch up, so I'm just going to pause you for a second and I'll be right back. Right, I'm back, sorry about that. I forgot my hole punch. This is our 1/8 of an inch hole punch. So what I'm going to do is just making sure I've got the right side. So I'm just going to pinch this together, and it will go through all this layers of card, but it is a bit tough. So just do it like that, and as you can see, it's gone through them two sides as well. Excuse me. I'm just going to line that up and put it back in on this side. Just to make sure it's the same. There we go. Just get it off. Oh, excuse me. I've got a frog in my throat. Right, so before we go and tie the ribbon on, we're going to pop our fragrance in. You see, that's a nice little fit. That just goes in, it goes on the top, and then our sticks will just go in like that. Now to tie it up, I've got our gorgeous silver 1/8 of an inch ribbon. This is actually a carryover from the last annual catalogue, and I love this. If you've got this, you know, then you'll know how nice it really actually is. You can get it in the gold as well. So what I've done is I've just cut it to a point. I'm just going to close them two together and feed that through, and then again go around this side. So we pull enough to do ribbon. Just trim that. It's frayed. Then back in through these two holes, and then lastly it will go back through to the front. Oh, getting all tangled up in ribbon. Right, while I was doing my prototype, I actually had a right nightmare tying this. You know how much I love tying bows on camera. It's the same, you know, off camera as well. You just pull that and just tie that, and then we're going to attempt to tie a pretty bow. Move the bows upside down, just move these tails around, see if I can fix it. And then just hold the middle there and pull this down. Just want a nice little size bow. That's actually not too bad for me. Just trim the ends, move this bit to one side. It's not quite tight enough, but you do yours a lot tighter. Mine's still popping open a little bit. And then the last thing we need to do is get our mini glue dots and get our sentiment, and then just pop one on the back of here like that, and then put that on top of the silver one. Then another glue dot on the back of here, and just pop that on there. And there we go. There's my two little boxes, one in early espresso and gold embossing powder, and one in basic black with the silver embossing powder. I really hope you like what I've done. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.